somewhere. Some beach somewhere. I didn't put eye drops in.
And this centerpiece here is actually a woman's earring.
Looks like Callie.
It's fairly typical for Tibetans to reuse beads in jewelry.
Kelly tells me
Private student loans that others won't touch. They can save you thousands of dollars and get you a custom payment that you can afford. And they don't care what your credit score is. Break. Don't let private student loan debt ruin your life. Call our refi today.
It's Macy's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% off our Hemworth bed, our customer favorite Bradley sectional, and our Bristol dining set. We may find the big things you need, so come shop with confidence at Macy's Memorial Day.
That macaroni and cheese blend. I'll put it after.
Throw the mushrooms in there, what do you?
No, throw them away.
Yeah, but if I have to use it. Well, I'm not the ones I got from John Street.
That one's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to do it.
Okie dokie. Let me get this macaroni and cheese going. Howdy, howdy. Making some mac and cheese. Oh, jeez. One. But hello. Bum bottom. Only put that in there.
What was I thinking?
What was I thinking? I know what I was feeling. What was I thinking?
This was a time of leadership in the nation. We choose to go to the moon. Take the man to the moon, get back to the marvelous challenge.
Relive the greatest moments.
Hope y'all doing well. Ouch. Oh, I got a finger cut and I forgot that freaking thing hurts. Oh gosh, it hurts. Woo! Got paper cut yesterday. Opened a cat litter. The box of cat litter.
Headed towards battle via the Panama Canal. Pearl Harbor was the first stop. Then the war in the Western Pacific. She barely squeezed through the canal.
When we went through the Panama Canal, it was only 12 inches on either side.
Oh my goodness. You know, I'll put it in this one, but I'll just have to put tinsel over it. Dum 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 dum. What's everybody up to? It's Thursday, halfway through the week. Probably Thursday for some of y'all. Let's go Wednesday on this side. Hello. Ooh.
Experimental procedure. Pipe south.
Hi.
Successfully threaded the catheter.
So I'm making some macaroni and cheese, and I'm gonna put some extra macaroni and cheese in there.
Other lovely visitors.
They seem to be tied up with
Make
worship.
it cheesy.
But worship of what?
Quite cheesy.
Gods? What if those gods were visiting extraterrestrials?
Could this be evidence of ancient astronauts
for its growth.
Yeah, I don't feel like turning my camera on or not. Sorry. Just not feeling like. Okay.
You know, it's like
Okay, good. The screen, right?
that college.
My wife didn't do well. She
I love you, yes.
He's so home. We love you, Lord.
Louie,
quit her job.
shut up.
Alabama's having sex with
Louie,
Vietnamese midgets.
Louie, shut up. You've got a big ass mouth.
You got big ass lips.
Boy, shut up.
Stop. We're having more skips here.
Don't be a
Look
skit
at
scat.
Miss Fortes.
It displays an array of artifacts that
Hurricane!
university's alumni. From a marching band uniform of the 1940s.
Hurricane!
And a vintage jukebox.
We're not doing generous about that.
In its collection.
Oh my goodness. I'm still hungry. So I left the one that you got from Don's Grill in here.
Well,
Mushrooms.
I throw those away.
No, you told me to throw the other ones away.
I did. I don't throw those away.
No, you didn't. You said the
Yes,
other one.
I did.
No, you
Why would
said
we throw those mushrooms away?
because there wasn't that many in there anyway.
Okay, I told you to throw those away. That's fine.
Well, what's wrong with those?
This looks good. I ate it for breakfast, I guess. That's what we'll do. It'll be no good after tomorrow, but I'm just going down. Eat eggs and then mushrooms.
Okay. I could probably make those hamburgers. Tomorrow. Hello, Anna Khan. What
According to reports, Miller was flying from England to Paris when his plane disappeared. Although no wreckage has been found, the musician is presumed dead.
How are y'all? Welcome in. Thank you for the 3 likes. Everyone have a wonderful night.
The public demands to know what happened to Glendower's plane. But strangely, the Army remains tight-lipped and refuses to release any information.
So there were a lot of speculation about what might have happened.
There's a shocking development.
German national radio announced that the Allies were fighting. Were killed in Paris.
The incendiary report spurs rumors of a conspiracy that reaches the highest levels of the U.S. military.
People thought the United States government was covering up what had
It's
happened.
Shirley, you should.
So what's the real story behind the disappearance of America's favorite head?
Meow, 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 meow. Oh my goodness, gonna get this thing open. Macaroni boxes. Oh, get open. So But it can get open. How long? Only 10 minutes, okay. Well, dum bum bum bum. Oh, I need it. There we go. Yeah, I'm back, y'all. I know I got off for a little bit. Went to the store, got me some hairspray, a charger for my phone, some air freshener. We need some air freshener. Boy, we got some air freshener. It's Febreze. It's Downy Febreze, and it's vanilla and vanilla bean, lavender and vanilla bean. Oh my gosh, that smells so good, y'all. It smells really good.
Military reports suggest it was a plane crash, but the Germans claim the U.S. government is lying.
Ooh.
So what happened to Glenn Miller?
So whatever. What did happen to Glenn Miller?
Extended far beyond entertainment troops.
No one knows.
People thought Glenn Miller, the most important musician in the world, was the secret agent.
A theory emerges that the musician was on a classified assignment for the U.S. military. It was a mission that some say could have ended the war.
Some people believe that General Eisenhower had selected Glenn Miller to fly to German-held territory and meet with the German High Command who were going to surrender to the Allies.
According to the theory, instead of brokering peace, Glenn Miller was
Suck.
murdered by the Nazis, leading the army to concoct the plane crash as a cover story. To the surprise of many, the military refuses to refute the claim. And with no evidence to prove or disprove the theory, Glenn Miller's disappearance becomes one of the most enduring mysteries of World War II. But over 16 years later, in 2009, an author named Dennis Sprague resolves to uncover the truth once and for all. Sprague begins by checking historic records for England. On the date Glenn Miller's plane took off, it was freezing. Next, he combs through declassified documents relating to the plane Miller was on when he disappeared. And Sprague finds what he believes is the answer. A report that states the engine of the plane may have had a problem performing in the cold.
Oh, wow.
Evidence that these airplanes would prompt the carburetor's ICU. If it was formed in the carburetor, the engine would seize up.
Can't snack like that, can you? You can't snack your hands like that, can you?
Sprague concludes that Miller's plane most likely crashed in the middle of the English Channel.
The occupants really had a chance to survive.
Boy, yeah.
In the end, Miller's death was a tragic accident.
Today, most accept this theory and consider the case to be closed. And the musician's old trombone, which remains on display at the University of Colorado Heritage Center, is an enduring symbol of the iconic artist who lost his life while serving his country. From a dancing
Let's beat this out of this thing. Ow, shoot, that's hot.
holiday tradition. I'm Don Wildman.
Yummy.
A multi-million-dollar baby. It's turned into this fun and enthusiastic spectator sport. The bizarre fate of a missing team.
Jesus. Y'all. It's Wednesday. Some of you probably. Thursday. But it's Wednesday here. Still. Till, for another 2 hours.
Tales of intrigue and wonder, and secrets waiting to be revealed. These
In 2 hours. It will be Thursday. But it's hump day here. Get it? Hump day. Over the hump and over the... So, 2 more days to... Well, day and a half. A day and a half.
And celebrating the region's contribution to industry and culture.
Tomorrow's Thursday, and the next day's Friday.
Displays include a Cadillac assembly line
Oh,
and hit records
ding dong.
from the Motown music label.
Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Say, uptown, funk you up. No, uptown will funk you up. Jump on it.
It's a series of small
I've
objects
lost
that
my
are
mind.
made
I've never had one.
They're covered with a ceramic enamel. They're about 12 inches long by 6 inches wide. The items look as if they've lived a tough life. They're a little rough around the edges, there's a little corrosion on the tin. They're put together almost like a puzzle.
These tiles were once proudly displayed in the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel between the United States and Canada. But according to Chief Curator Toby Hoyt, these are also linked to perhaps the most bizarre contest in North American history.
It was the most talked about event of the 1930s. Kind of turned into this fun, enthusiastic
So.
spectator sport. Charles Vance Miller was a well-known, wealthy attorney. He had a lot of investments in local companies around Canada.
One of Miller's most notable ventures was the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, the first to connect the United States to Canada.
Jesus.
But beyond being a savvy businessman, Miller was
Da 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 da.
He was a prankster during his life.
And even in death, Miller pulls one final stunt. Executors announced that his will of the most
Who that does that?
contest. The woman
Okay, you know who does that?
will win.
What cartoon character does that?
The children must be legitimate and born to a Toronto resident.
Boom, bing, boom, 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 boom. Whew.
At first, the public is skeptical. The competition, which becomes known as the Great Stork Derby, is dismissed as a gimmick.
There's some speculation that he started the Great Stork Derby as a commentary on the prohibition of birth control. So lots of rumors came out that it wasn't a real will, that it was a joke will, it's not going to go anywhere.
Most people assume no one will take on this
Did you
bizarre
put the stamp?
challenge.
Yeah, it's in my pocketbook.
In 1929, the American stock market crashes, setting off the Great Depression. Canada's economy is also devastated.
They have one of the highest unemployment rates. Almost a third of Canadian citizens are out of work.
The downturn puts the spotlight back on the Stork Derby. Recall Miller's promise of a massive cash reward. Married couples across Toronto lie in bed, hoping to appropriate their way out of poverty. The press keeps a record of each birth.
Actually, I'm gonna use this one. That one.
It had fans all over the
Down the cut it on the side of my shirt.
Finally, in 1936, a decade after Miller's death, the it's still way time. Quartet of Toronto mothers, each giving birth to 9 children. Each entitled to $125,000.
Oh, wow.
which roughly
Jesus!
It's
That's a lot of money, honey.
for the rest of their lives. But little do these mothers know, their hard-earned prize.
I found a container with a lid. Put that in.
1936, Miller's cousins come forward to claim what they say is their rightful inheritance.
They've claimed that the clause involving race and furthermore, they contributed to immoral behavior by encouraging working class folks to have more babies than they would care for.
With an expensive legal team on their side, Miller's cousins have a clear financial advantage over poor mothers.
As every day went on, the women had no idea they were going to get the money that they had won, which was extra stressful, being that it was the Depression and they had all these extra mouths to feed.
The lawsuit winds its way through every level of Canada's legal system. Finally, in 1937, the Supreme Court declares that a thorough review of Miller's will has settled any doubt concerning the document's legitimacy. The ruling favors the mothers.
After the women received the money, they used it very sensibly. They purchased homes and cars and set money aside for the education of their children.
Today, the Detroit Historical Museum displays these tiles from the Detroit Winter Tower, one of Miller's more serious ventures, which helped fund one of history's wackiest contests. Rochester, New York was home to one of the most recognized figures in photography.
Yeah, I gotta stir this up
George Eastman.
and put some more cheese in there.
Sprawling estate
Make it extra, extra cheesy, baby. Easy, cheesy, cheesy, cheesy.
Here, visitors can find a collection of 400,000 images and negatives, along with an assortment of early photographic equipment. But amid these artifacts connected to still photography is one item related to motion pictures.
This object is about the width of a quarter.
Makes it extra, extra cheesy.
150,000
Why
images
don't
on it.
you?
According to archivist Jared Case, this film was at the center of a David and Goliath struggle between an up-and-coming director and one of America's most powerful men.
This ring contains some of the most famous actors from the history of Hollywood, but it also contains some of the most controversial images that were ever put to screen.
1941, Hollywood. At a mere 25 years of age, Orson Welles is already an entertainment legend. The prolific dramatist has been wowing critics and audiences alike with his brilliant stage and radio productions.
Orson Welles was a genius. He was someone that succeeded in anything he tried.
Anything you could do, I could do better.
And now,
I
Welles
could do
is taking
anything.
on his most ambitious
What
project
happened
yet,
there?
directing and starring in his first Hollywood feature for RKO Pictures. A big-budget film called Citizen Kane.
It was the story of Charles Foster Kane, a great publishing magnate who controlled newspapers around the country. Kane is certainly not a nice character and used this influence to whatever he wanted, whether it was money, whether it was women, or whether it was power.
In January, Welles invites the press to a sneak preview of Citizen Kane. Critics praise the film for its innovative cinematography, witty script, and epic performances. But there's one person who is unimpressed. Newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst. It's clear to anyone watching the film that the character of Kane is a thinly veiled portrayal of Hearst himself.
Comparisons between Hearst and Kane were numerous. He was a newspaper
Anything else can do, I can do better.
as well
I can do anything.
gained this
Better
power
than
and
me.
influence over
That's
America.
what he's saying.
Took all that money and created this incredible palatial estate in California.
The similarities don't end there. Kane's love interest in the film is a young showgirl. It's a plot point that mirrors Hearst's real-life romantic
ma'am.
Hearst is furious. What Hearst saw in Wells' portrayal of him was a bitter, tyrannical, soulless man whose only redeeming quality was that he loved this one woman. However, it was not his wife. The publisher vows to stop Citizen Kane from ever making the silver screen. Hearst uses his influence through his papers to conduct a smear campaign, labeling Wells as communist
Look at that thing bad. I don't know.
Oh, you may have eaten.
Hmm.
The tactic works. When Citizen Kane is finally released in May, it plays in only a handful of theaters and barely registers with audiences. The film is a flop. Citizen Kane was put back into the archive walls and essentially forgotten about. So what will it take for Citizen Kane to become a modern classic? All of you want to make
I was still kind of hungry.
But I do know this. Right now, with your phone to T-Mobile, they'll give you $400 plus pay off the phone $10 for your switch. And T-Mobile's price guarantee on their experience plans. They won't raise the price of the rate plans for 5 years. Join T-Mobile and guarantee.
So I made some mac and cheese. I got extra cheese on it. Boy. Huh? Gosh. This is good.
Tabby. Tabby cat. She's looking. She says, yes, Daddy.
She's probably got that nose up in there. I got sniffing the air.
She's got 12 items.
I took your fast. Typical orders turning into parents love rules.
Dedicated RV parking around the back.
No, we're not leaving it now.
It's okay. You don't need a ticket. There's no way.
Progressive can't take you from becoming your parents. They can't save you money when you put them all on those.
Technically, it's now one item.
You're literally the only one who cares.
Ever since he's been home, he has replied Steph Skechers sleep-ins. My other shoes are useless, but Skechers sleep-ins are just in their own. Right, Skechers sleep-ins.
You're seeing Skechers' famous line set footwear everywhere. And now their famous design is available in hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Get the comfort and style of line set without the convenience of slip-ins. With no
This is
worry
good.
about shoes. Try line set Skechers slip-ins.
It's the 1940s. Publishing magnate William Randolph Hearst has prevented movie theaters from screening the film Citizen Kane. As a result, it flops in the box office and was instantly forgotten. But a surprising plot twist is about to bring Citizen Kane to a whole new audience.
In 1951, William Randolph Hearst dies. 5 years later, Citizen Kane is rescued from the walls. And finds a new audience. On television. As television became more popular, there became a need for content. One of the ways that they created content was by going to Hollywood studios and asking them for prints of their films.
Oh, well.
That's my winner. No shot.
Citizen Kane is one such film purchased by the networks. This time, audiences everywhere have a chance to enjoy the Wells masterpiece. When Citizen Kane started getting shown on TV, it got a new life. It got shown over and over again, and people began to reevaluate it and saw the genius of this film for what it was. Citizen Kane's revolution reaches its climax in 1962, when international movie critics name it the greatest motion picture ever made. Today, this 35mm print is preserved at the George Eastman House. It recalls the cinematic battle between a British and seen from left from the silver screen. Portland, Oregon. This city's original settlers chose its name for the
I love you.
As a result,
Yes, I do.
called
history, education, and culture. And one of its most unique institutions is the Oregon Humane Society. Visitors to the 10-acre campus can take classes on dog training,
Huh.
and animals, or pay their
Any
respects
old thing you can do, man, I can do, man.
but one structure
Because some
on
of
these
y'all,
grounds
I can do a
housed
lot better.
perhaps the region's
Than
most
you.
famous canine.
It's painted white, red trim. It has a little door, and it has a window with curtains on the inside, and there's landscaping around it with little hedges and
Pathetic.
bushes. So it looks like you're approaching someone's little house.
Oh,
The owner,
anyways.
Susan Stelgis, the occupant of this miniature mansion, was part of a riddle that took
So how's everyone doing?
This dog is something
Everyone's
that
doing well.
people had never heard of before. It was a total mystery.
who lived here and what incredible journey did he undertake. 1923, Silverton, Oregon. Restaurant owner Frank Brazier was a doting husband and proud
Oh
father.
my goodness.
But the Brazier family isn't complete without their dog.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
And he was considered
Than
very
some of you
playful and very
hoes.
lively, just full of energy. He was very affectionate and very loving.
Some bunch of them.
That summer, Frank and his family embarked on a long-distance road trip to visit friends and relatives in Indiana. Naturally, they bring Buffy along.
He was an easygoing dog and he traveled well, and they just didn't think it would be any problem.
It's a decision that will change the Braziers' lives forever. On August 15th, the family stops at a gas station in Wolcott, Indiana. Frank lets the dog down for some fresh air.
Whenever they would stop,
Yeah.
Bobby would just get out of the car and he would explore. The Rangers always trusted that he would be coming back.
But as Frank is filling up the gas tank, the unthinkable happens. A pack of street dogs appears out of nowhere.
The next thing Mr. Frazier knows is that
Mm.
the dogs are chasing after Bobby. And Bobby disappears down the alley.
Before Frank can even react, Bobby is gone. The Braziers frantically search the town for their beloved pet.
Don't you do me so. It's no no.
In desperation, the family puts their travel plans on hold to continue their search.
They went to the local newspaper and placed an ad.
But after 3 weeks, not a single report of Bobby comes in. The Braziers resign themselves to the possibility that their beloved cat may be gone forever. With heavy hearts, they reluctantly head
Thank
home
you
to
for the
Bobby.
5 likes.
It was a devastating decision. They just assumed that they'd never see their dog again.
But Bobby's story
What the
is
hell?
far from over. What happens next will stun not only the Braziers, but the world. In 1923, in Silverton, Oregon, while on vacation in Indiana, the Brazier family loses their pet dog, Bobby. After 3 weeks of searching, they figure he's gone forever. And sadly,
This is the view from the cemetery here
Bobby's story is just getting started.
at the location and the grave
Braziers
of
are
Oscar Wilde's
devastated.
half
The
sisters,
loss hits them as hard as a death in the family.
Emily and
But
Mary
then, 6
Wilde.
months later,
They died in a horrific accident in County
one of
Monaghan
the
here
Brazier daughters
in 1871.
Dang.
wandering the streets of Silverton.
They were 24
A
and
college
22
that
years
looks
old.
just like her missing cat.
As I was saying, the illegitimate daughters of Oscar's father, Sir William Wilde. They were raised far from the main Wilde family and lived in the Monaghan area here. So the tragedy behind these two sisters happened on Halloween night, October 31st, 1871, at a ball in Drumacon House near Monaghan town. During the dance, one sister's dress caught fire. Both accounts say it brushed against either an open fire like a candle. At the time, women's dresses were made from highly flammable muslin and crinoline fabrics.
The question on everyone's mind is how did Bobby get back to
So there's a
work?
beautiful grave just here,
Just a few weeks
and
after
have a close
You know,
look
you'd think,
at this.
okay,
from the man in
if,
Iowa claiming to
if it's flammable and it's made of horsehair,
And
horsehair
this
is
is
going
in
to be
loving memory
flammable.
of Sarah Frances Hall, the beloved wife of James Campbell Hall,
This isn't like too much when I made the dresses.
D.L. Rowntree Monaghan, born the 16th of January 1858 and died the 24th of January 1916.
Hmm.
And we have a James Campbell here as well, eldest son of the late Reverend Richard Augustus Hall of Tully House, Monaghan.
Hmm.
He died in 1931. So I'll just go a little bit closer here and show you what a beautiful grave that is. The angels on it. And a small little one here. And the angel looks like it's holding a flower in his hand. Great detail there in stonework. So the tragic story continues, and Mary was the first to guide
Hands. Come here.
Get
Louis.
stinkies. Get a stinkies.
No, dummy.
by rolling them in snow or wet grass outside the house. Both women suffered terrible burns. Mary died first and Emily died weeks later from her injuries. So that is the old church there, Church of Ireland, as I was saying. And there is a vault up here that we'll have a look at as well. Now their deaths were partly hushed up because of the social scandal surrounding their illegitimacy. Reports say Sir William Wilde requested that no public inquest be held to avoid publicity. Some historians believe Oscar himself may never really have known them. The sisters were buried here in this old graveyard. And we'll go and have a look at their grave. This is a burial vault here. Just read what it says on it. It's the family vault of James A. Main, 1859. I don't know.
Throw me the phone. Throw me the phone.
It's kind of hard to.
I gotta see it. How's your charger?
It's charging.
Don't leave it on the floor.
I'm not. It's charging.
Is that done? Is it going for rain?
Don't know.
See who's winning. And
I could check.
oh, I'm checking. Yeah, I thought I heard something.
He discovered a stretch of land unlike any he had seen before. His name is Poyet. Located in what is today known as Honduras, McGregor asserts
3-0 still.
it's just the place for new
Hey, I don't
settlers to
see
lay down
anything.
stakes.
He claims that
You do?
is this beautiful
Yeah.
ranchland
Ah.
developed with cathedrals and roads and infrastructure that's just ready to
Boom,
settle.
boom. Wow.
McGregor regales the public with
Wow.
stories of land that yields
Wow.
corn harvests a year and streams filled with chunks of gold.
It's just this impossibly rich and fertile place. It's beautiful and grand.
McGregor asserts that the king of Poyet himself has granted him ownership of the land.
Boom, boom.
Now, he is selling lots for what seems like anyone willing to move there stands to make a fortune.
Which is
Paige. Oh, we're doing good. How are you?
Eager citizens clamor to buy land.
Hey, Daniel. Happy Wednesday.
which is about $26.9 million in today's money.
I'm gonna think I'll call. It's crazy. Been crazy raining here. Help me. You get calm. Working a lot. Oh, that stinks.
Is far from paradise.
It's not fertile land. It's acres of inhospitable swamp and jungle. Settlers wondered if there's been some
That
illegal mistakes
stinks.
or if they've been had.
Get it. Get it, Callie.
Get
Watch
it,
it.
baby.
Callie.
Baby.
Callie. It's
Uncomfortable.
Callie.
The pain, uncomfortable. But now it's time to go with Enzyme. The first and only FDA-approved steroid-free prescription cream.
We've been arguing over.
You can't use
It is here.
so let's go.
Oh my goodness. It's supposed to rain here till Saturday. It's been raining here since last week. I'm not complaining about the rain, but dang. But every day, for a week, that's crazy. Yeah. It's definitely going to be hot and humid here after all this rain's gone away.
Bacterial skin infections and low white blood cells. Let's just go. Talk to your doctor today. And go. It's go time.
There are trucks in the nifty 2026 GMC Sierra with the capability to handle what life throws your way. That's the GMC Sierra. Leading diversification. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. During GMC
So, yeah.
get to 40% APR for 7
Yeah, that is a lot. Some places here in North Carolina, they were getting 3 to 4 inches an hour. So much that some places were getting sinkholes already.
We got 4 or 5 inches of rain last couple of days.
Yeah. There was one place, I think they had it was like 18 feet sinkhole. There, where? I don't know exactly. I don't know if it was here in North Carolina or somewhere else. But I know Texas was getting it really bad.
After a careful study of their maps, the settlers are convinced they followed the Gregor's directions correctly. So they search the hostile terrain for any sign of the bountiful resources.
Yeah, it is. It's nuts. But you know, when you got a lot of rain and don't have nowhere to go, you know, it could be it can be dangerous.
They are soon stopped in their tracks by a native who tells them that he is the king of Korea.
He is outraged that they're there. He did not know they were coming. He is not pleased.
The colonists desperately explain their predicament. And when the king learns that McGregor has been selling his land to would-be settlers, he's livid.
The king tells the colonists none of this land
Holy goodness. Since 4 a.m.? Oh my gracious.
On one condition. They must
I bet he's
fight for themselves.
tired up, pooped out by the time he gets home from work. Woo.
No choice but to try to live off
I remember when Louis had to do that. And he'd come home and he's about tired.
they're desperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have a hard time eating or even finding shelter.
I remember getting up with him about, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning. Him being have to be at work about 4:30. Sometimes 5. Oh my gosh.
Finally, in April 1823, the beleaguered settlers' nightmare ends. The survivors spot a British vessel just offshore. They frantically
Because he worked in a factory and he worked on the trucks and, you know, working in the trucks, putting products in the truck or taking them out of the truck. Whew. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine how hot those trucks can be. Oh. Yeah, true.
Known as the Smithsonian of the South, the city is renowned for its many free cultural attractions. And one of its most popular institutions is the North Carolina Museum of Art. It displays a host of international treasures, including sculptures by Auguste Rodin and a stunning landscape by Claude Monet.
Yeah, he worked in um, trucks, and he said it was like they had no air conditioning in those things. So I mean, it's like 110, 120 degrees, and
This is a statue of former
in
U.S.
there.
Senator and Secretary of State Daniel Webster, one of the most esteemed statesmen in American history. But as Associate Curator Jennifer Dassel tells him,
I mean, you're in the
descendants who became a national obsession after a sudden and mysterious
yeah. It is. It's insane. Oh yeah, it's worse in the summertime.
It's
Which
1936.
he can't do that now, so
The United States is in the throes of the Great Depression.
At this time, there are more red lines. Everybody is dealing with
he's like, I'm glad I don't have to do that no more.
Family isn't feeling
Aren't you, Lou?
at all.
Huh?
Have to,
The
ho-
Webster feels
you know,
their
put
vast wealth is
and
costing
take
a
the
fortune.
products out of the trucks.
Yeah.
Daniel Webster.
How hot it is.
Webster was a senator in New Hampshire.
Oh, school's already out. They've been out of school since last week, but he's been out of school since the 15th. He didn't have to go last week because last week was exams and he got exempted from that.
Work ethic.
So
And now, nearly 80 years after the legendary statesman's death, his descendants live
yeah,
a more privileged life than he ever did.
yeah, he got out. He got a doing. I was like, well, I was in high school. I had to do all. I had to take, you know, the
But
exams,
the family's
end
sheltered
of
existence is
your
about to be
exams.
shattered.
So.
On May 4th,
Well,
the
second,
Japanese
first
forces
semester and then
launched a
second
series
semester
of bombs
exams. So,
He had a date to play tennis with a friend, but he did not return home.
which he's doing good in school.
for his safety. The Webster feels cold release.
I know, right?
At first, the authorities
He's doing. He did good in school. He made
learned that William sometimes lies
uh
to his parents and spends the night.
each semester he made almost A honor roll.
So he may have gone to dance halls in Manhattan.
I know, right?
Visit a number of
So
popular
yeah, he almost made the A honor roll this semester.
with no sign of
He made a C in one class, but I'm not complaining because I mean he passed all his. He passed.
for the missing heir. As news gets out,
And he's done good
a sensation in the press.
this year, so. Oh, he is. He got 4 awards in JORTC this semester
Yet days pass and no demand for ransom comes in.
for dressing right, for wearing his uniform or his PT wear, his stuff he has to wear when they do jogging and physical stuff. Um, on the days that he's supposed to, and being there.
About their beloved son's fate.
So
They assume they'll never see Richard again.
yeah, that is pretty good.
Then, a month after his disappearance, police get a break that will turn the case on its
So they should be sending out the report cards. They usually, the
1936.
week or two after the school's let out for summer vacation, after summer vacation, and that's when they'll send the report cards out. Well, it's nice talking to you, and it's good to see you. Yeah, especially when they get in high school, because it's always harder on them, rough on them, because they have always have more homework, you know, than, and they have to study more than elementary and middle. Yeah, well, it's a lot. I think it's a lot easier on them than when we were in school. So, because I remember in high school, oh my gosh, ooh, homework all the time, every night, day, almost, and then studying for uh, tests and all that stuff.
Then William drops a bombshell. He's been living there of his own free will.
He reveals that he's mentoring Elizabeth with
William explains that he was fed up with his privileged life.
And he don't have. I mean, he didn't have as much homework this year. I'm like, man, you're lucky. When I was school, I had a lot of homework. I do a lot of studying. Which the good thing is they got computers now that if they do homework, they automatically could just send the homework to their teacher through email when they're finished with it.
He then found a job selling magazines to make ends meet.
and it's grueling work. He works 12-hour days for only 25 cents a day.
You too.
He's exhausted and overworked and hungry.
Well, we got a pontoon boat, so well, my father-in-law's got one, so and we got. I know, right? So if they like don't have they didn't do all their work that day, they can do it at home and send it in the next with that after they're finished with it.
When the story hits the press, Americans everywhere are inspired.
Ever since he began having his Aboriginal spirit, he was all back to his ancestor Daniel Webster, had that same noble sense of vitality and activism.
Can we watch a movie?
I'm watching some.
Today, this statue of Daniel Webster stands as a tribute to an individual whose powerful legacy inspired his young descendant to venture forth and make his own way in the world. Richmond, England. This idyllic London suburb sits on the banks of the Thames.
Good night. I hope you have a good one.
Served as a retreat for British royalty, such as Queen Elizabeth I. So it is famed that Richmond is home to one of England's most impressive parks, the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew. These manicured grounds feature a 10-story Japanese pagoda, an ornate pond house, and even a royal palace. But stored within its archives is a tiny, unassuming specimen.
You can suck them off.
Got it.
Yeah, right.
Organic,
Keep my phone now.
tied with twine, and so weightless.
Oh my goodness, I gotta fix my hair.
Louise Holland. This jar's contents tell of a thrilling tale of intrigue and espionage. As
My hair's falling out my thing.
This is the story behind some things that we
I
take
should have
for
took the
granted
hairbrush.
every day,
That's fine.
especially for Christmas.
Okay. Oh.
It's May 1848 in England. For nearly 2 centuries, the British have enjoyed a love affair with a tasty concoction brewed from the leaves of the plant Camellia sinensis, better known as tea.
Tea was supremely popular. Everyone was drinking it and everyone wanted it.
To date, the tea plant has been grown exclusively by the Chinese. Now, British traders want a piece of the
Man,
action
oh man, it's hard.
They wanted in on the tea industry. It could bring them a lot of money.
But that's easier said than done. Only the Chinese know how to successfully grow and process tea plants, and they protectively guard their secret.
The process of producing tea was one that was shrouded in mystery.
The British must somehow get their hands on China's mysterious tea-making methods. And so they hatch a plan. They will send a spy to China to secretly observe farmers' techniques and steal plant seedlings. To carry out this mission, they enlist a botanist named Robert Fortune. He seems like the perfect man for the job.
He was a really horticulturist, and he actually could speak a little bit of the language and understood the culture, so if anybody could get into China, it would be him.
Oh, well.
If Fortune succeeds, his discoveries will make him a very rich man.
He was offered 5 times his normal salary to do this, so this was an offer that Robert Fortune really couldn't refuse.
Yet the assignment is dangerous. The punishment for stealing Chinese tea plants is death.
Robert Fortune really was taking his life in his hands.
In September 1848,
Well, hello, Kelly. How are you?
there he puts his plan into motion.
I'm doing good. How about you?
Fortune knew that if he was going to achieve his objective, he couldn't just wander through
Been a while.
as is. He needed a persona or disguise.
Fortune shaves his head and dresses in silk robes, giving him the appearance of a Chinese aristocrat. While he may still look more English than Chinese, the intrepid botanist believes China's vast geography will play to his advantage.
But China was such a huge country. If you lived on one side of the country, you wouldn't necessarily have any understanding of what someone on the other side would look like.
Oh,
He also enlists
you're tipsy. Oh, gosh. Oh, those days.
everything in place. Fortune travels to China's Anhui province, the site of a successful tea
I've
plantation.
noticed some people haven't got any notifications, and some do. And some of them do. So I don't know what's going on.
Tells the foreman that Fortune,
I know YouTube is.
who has come for
They're
a
kind of messed up in the head.
the ruse works. Inside, Fortune is led around the facility.
He is taking very careful mental notes. Everything that he sees, he has got to remember to perfection in order to take these secrets back home.
But the botanist must steal more than just secrets. He also needs to get his hands on some tea plant samples. Fortune waits for the foreman to turn his back and makes his move.
His heart must have been pounding because if discovered, he'd have faced
Oh, man.
Will Robert Fortune escape with the
He's doing all right. He's got to go the 12th of June and got to have surgery. That dang diverticulitis sucks. They told him if he didn't have the surgery, he's gonna have to. He'd be going to the hospital nonstop. So, yeah, he's gotta go June 2nd for the, pre-op, before he has it. Well, thank you. And so then when he has that surgery, he's gonna be in there for a few days afterwards. So. They told him it's either you have the surgery or keep going back to the hospital, the emergency hospital. So he's like, I'll just, cause he said, cause it'll start getting worse and worse, and it'll be every week, and then it could go from that to every day, and it could go till it ruptures. So. Yeah. I don't know. That's men for you.
Oh, I'm busy.
It is. I don't know. 10:45.
going with me?
What time?
Now? We've been out all day.
No,
You gonna
no.
sleep all day?
No, I ain't gonna sleep all day.
It's 1848. Botanist Robert Fortune is on an undercover mission to
7:45 there. Wait, it's almost midnight here. Oh, Kelly says hi. Kelly. She says hi.
Harry.
She said it's 7:45 there. She's in Canada.
Looking the other way, Robert knew that was his moment to pounce. He took out from his robes a wax cloth, secretly put his hand into the dish, and managed to get a little bit of a sample back into the inside pocket of his robes. The secrets of
She's taking a shot of vodka for you. she's, she said, I'm kind of tipsy. She said, I'm tipsy. I said, we're not going that with that conversation. That's my nickname is Tipsy. Because when I drink, I get a little tipsy. I am kind of tipsy. Actually, and I kind of fall asleep. Yeah, I'm a lightweight drinker, so that's kind of like oh, what you call it to me. It is. It's kind of like taking melatonin or what is that? Not quill.
Dude, they're gonna be at Monopoly.
It is. It's kind of like melatonin or NyQuil. What?
A little spot. Look at that Monopoly.
Oh,
I'm gonna put
where's
it
it
on.
at?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
Up there in the bag. Or you
Okay.
give me a little gauge.
Don't you have one in your bag?
No, I don't. I'm asking you. Let's look good low on.
So,
a slithering salesman's miracle cure.
I have to go back for that.
An intrepid journalist's quest for truth.
He was central to a mystery that gripped the nation.
Yeah.
And the heroic response of a town.
Here, I'll give it right back to you. Just put it on my finger. Not move. Sit right here.
Yeah.
What's it? Is it? You see it?
Yeah, it's a little bit. But it came out and squirted that much. I didn't mean for that much to come out, but I can't help it when you do that, though, you know. Can you put this back in the fridge?
Countless landmarks that chronicle
That's all.
over 3 centuries of the nation.
Okay.
Located on the
Yay.
banks of the Charles River.
Put everything back in the bag.
100 cargo ship.
Fill it out.
The Boston Tea Party Museum celebrates one of America's
I'm gonna wait to be eating, man.
I'm not making you
How much more you gotta eat today? Well, you had a happy meal. You ate all my rice, chicken. I mean, save some food. We're not starving. You just eat.
This object is very, very old. It's torn on some side. Stained in paintings.
Really, Gabriel? I'm not making pictures on it.
Executive Director Sean
I told you that.
This object
It's
is
11
central
o'clock.
to a nation-defining moment.
You eat all the food there.
What the face is that?
The only known survivor.
Granny took you to McDonald's.
The single most
Then
important
you ate some of your dad's, a big part of your dad's food. Like this.
behind the infamous Boston Tea Party. December 16th, 1773, Boston
Do it. I'm going to sit down.
is levying heavy new taxes on the American colonies. And his
That's what I'm doing.
are outraged. The monopoly's defense is the tea tax.
What is?
Requiring
Eat a pot pie.
No.
Well, we're
Why
not
won't you
making.
eat pie?
Put it back.
We'll put it back in the fridge.
Well, I mean, you eat too much. Save some food.
Save it for
You ate all
tomorrow.
day.
Save it for tomorrow.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't. We do. You're running out of food because you just eat.
What's wrong with eating a pizza? I just
It's late. He's gonna make it warm.
Guess I'll make it for a reading.
Bring it on then.
No, he's
Move.
gonna make it keep on.
Move it.
You need to bring it on. You ain't gonna do that here.
She started it.
I ain't start nothing. Oh,
Hey,
Well, what was that mumbling I heard over there, Mom? Huh?
just leave me alone.
This was the last chance before the team would be landed.
Go on.
I heard
Something like
that.
this?
I heard the
Go
mumbling
on.
over there.
Go on if you want me to make your pizza.
And the tax was to be paid.
Okay. I heard that again. Say that again.
Good night. Get this thing open. Oh my goodness. Teenage kids. And their hormones.
Streets of Boston are slowly flooded by hundreds of men, all dressed in Native American garb. They marched down to Britain's wharf. And there they went on their ships. The men begin dumping hundreds of boxes of tea into the harbor. Attracted by the commotion, bystanders quickly gather along the waterfront to catch a glimpse. Thousands of people on the shoreline watching this happen. This was an act of treason. They were just in awe and disbelief of what they were witnessing. Then the shadowy figures vanish into the crowd as quickly as they appear. It seems the tea tax will not be paid after all. There were exactly 340 chests of tea tossed into Boston Harbor and destroyed. And in today's value, that would be about $1.7 million. And one of those chests, one of only two to have survived, is now on display at the Boston Tea Party Museum. In the aftermath of this brazen act, the British are eager to capture the perpetrators. But there's one problem. No one knows who they are. Except night. They were in disguise. Their faces were pitch black. So to identify them is very, very difficult to do. The most likely suspects, Sam Adams and his Sons of Liberty, appear to have a solid alibi. Sam Adams was back at the Old South Meeting House, well underway when the destruction of the teas happened. So who was responsible for the Boston Tea Party? And how did they manage to keep their mission a secret?
They could
As
have
the
done it,
years pass,
but there's no hard
the
evidence
Boston
that they
Tea
did it.
Party grows, prompting
Right.
some who were involved to come forward with details of the
They
secret
could have done
event.
it, but there's no hard evidence they did
As
it.
it turns out, it was Sam Adams and his Sons of Liberty at
Huh?
home. In a series of
How did
investigations,
they know
it's
that?
believed that Adams and his
What evidence is there that they had did it?
recruited young, unseasoned volunteers to their cause. Most of the participants were
I'm gonna lay down. Yeah, I think I am. Tired.
so they were less
Love you.
known,
Yeah.
probably less likely to be arrested.
I love you.
Yeah, right.
The young
Give me a kiss.
patriots dressed as Native American warriors.
Give me a kiss.
Questioned grenades.
Alright, hold on, let me put this down.
The close scrutiny of the British. How did he manage to flawlessly execute this event? As the story goes, at the meeting in which he seemed to concede defeat, the famed politician was speaking in code.
Love you.
Was that that's Sam Adams said this meeting can do no more to save the country. That was a signal for the Patriots to don their all-out disguise and march down Britain's wharf to destroy the team. Adams always publicly denied his involvement. It seems the exact details of his role in this legendary event may forever be shrouded in mystery. What is clear is that this brave act of defiance galvanized the revolutionary movement and set the colonies on the path to independence. Within a year, the First Continental Congress was held, one of the first steps toward the Revolutionary War. Boston Tea Party.
I don't want to shut it all the way.
That is the reason why we're independent.
I'm gonna turn the lights out.
Tea Party. We may still be under British rule.
I'll shut a little
And
bit.
this crate on display
Hey, she
at the
wants
Tea
to come
Party
in there,
Museum
though.
in Boston will forever remind us of that shocking incident that sparked a revolution and gave birth to our nation.
put hubby to bed. Put him to bed. I'll turn this slide out until the sheets. For now.
But there's also an artifact that tells of one journalist who went far beyond his call of duty.
This object is 14 feet long and 5 feet wide, and the whole thing appears as if it's been through some sort of intense trauma.
It's a car.
Museum curator Carrie Christopherson. This is no ordinary car.
This mangled vehicle was central to a mystery that gripped the nation.
Huh.
What part did this car play in one reporter's riveting story of dedication and sacrifice? 1962.
Whoop,
Phoenix,
well.
Arizona. An ambitious young reporter named Don Bolles joins the staff of the Arizona Republic and quickly makes a name for himself as a determined investigative journalist.
He is looking into land fraud and political corruption and connections back to businessmen and politicians.
And there's no shortage of stories.
Pow pow. Kelly Wally. Oh my goodness.
Wild West mentality.
In 1965, Bolles is rewarded with a Pulitzer Prize nomination for his work, but he doesn't rest on his laurels. He continues his investigations. In 1977, he publishes The Newcomers, an expose naming 200 mob members with links to legitimate businesses in Arizona.
Naturally,
Jesus, hot.
desire to expose truth and injustice.
Making Cape's pizza. Gosh, it's alive.
Bolles' other keeps up his relentless pursuit of the truth. On June 7, 1976, Bolles receives a call from a tipster who claims to have information about a land fraud story.
He makes note of the time and place the informant wants to meet, leaves a note for his editor, and is off to pursue his story.
The source asks to meet him at the Clarendon House Hotel in downtown Phoenix. But when Bolles arrives, he isn't there.
John doesn't think anything of the festival thing happens routinely, so he heads back to his car.
He gets behind the wheel of his Datsun 710 and starts the engine.
John starts to pull out of his parking space.
But he doesn't make it far.
As he's backing up, a massive explosion occurs. The impact was enough to rip a hole through the undercarriage of the car. Don is mortally wounded.
Is this an accident? Or is someone out to get Don Bolles?
Let's cross the street. Can I get a cheeseburger? I don't have to use the washroom though. Oh, I can't go in here. There's steps. It's not accessible this one.
Mm-hmm.
I am. What's in A? Wow, $5.99 for a small pizza. 2 toppings. That's not bad. Now you can do it on my scooter. Yeah, I slept till 3. Ruined Salah's Eid. Why would I do that? Like, what the hell? Never. I actually talked to him today. Actually, he messaged me the most today. I woke up at 3 and I had like 7 messages from him. Where are you? Are you okay? Why are you sleeping this late? Are you okay? What's going on? But by 3 p.m., his Eid would be pretty much over. And then I said, how was your Eid, babe? And he said, it's okay, but I wish you were here. Aw. I do too. No, now that I've laid off with like being so down his neck, I find that he's more, like I just noticed like it's not even that bad. Like he doesn't really go on about messaging me in between, and he can't always be, like if you guys knew the life there, it's like really busy and there's always people and visiting and all this and that, you know? Oh, let's go get a chip truck french fry. Like not even joking. Yeah, we're going to get a chip truck fry. Potatoes have fiber. What's a chip truck? A chip truck is a truck, like a food truck, but it sells Swan pizza. Do I ever not think about food? Well, I didn't eat today, so I'm kind of hungry, you know? But very rarely do I not think about food. Actually, I think I should use the bathroom. Okay, guys. I want to check my blood pressure, but I don't think my arm will fit. Oh, this might be cheaper. Oh, huge bag already going for the same price from Etal Pasta.
Well, now that's not where that goes. You unhook the backup buzzer, you can scoot back and put it where it belongs.
Look, she has to touch it. She cannot touch. She cannot touch. Once you see it, once you look at that. Once you see something, she's got it. You got it.
I'm supposed to get paid sometime today.
Oh, so that's why Salah kept trying to wake you up while you were sleeping. Got it.
So my grocery budget will renew. $150. $51. That's after tax. I'm gonna split the beef in two. But you know what? I'll make a huge casserole and freeze some. Oh, I don't have containers. They don't tell you the price you have to pay.
They don't tell you the price that you pay.
Oh my god, this guy. This one here ahead of us on a wheelchair. I have a story about that. I'm looking for food. He hit on me once. I was going into the elevator in the mall, and he was going in with me, and he was like looking me up and down, like obvious, and then he was like, what's your name? Like stuff like that. Yes. He was in like a chair. He was a small person.
You better not ask anybody for their name unless you're prepared to do some flirting.
A sub is not a snack. I mean, I need to have my first meal, basically, okay? So, oh, here we go. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, before I show you guys, we're gonna go and get a drink.
I have never seen her hop up out of that scooter so fast as she did to get those tacos.
I don't want to eat like in front of most people because I don't want it to look bad. I forgot my straw. Hi, Melly. Oh my god. It's like soft. What is this? Oh, hot sauce. Oh, that's delicious. Smell that beauty bite.
Ew, no hand sanitizer or anything and touching everything downtown. Ugh.
I need napkins. I know. I should use hand sanitizer. Fuck. I don't want to eat it here because it's messy. I have a hand sanitizer at home too. Chicken dorado. The tacos were like healthy tasting, other than being fried. It smells like perfume in here. Imagine wearing so much perfume that it lingers in the elevator. Wow, this is boring. Well, what do you want me to do? Want me to tap dance for you?
Yeah, kind of. You're passing away.
Okay, see you guys soon. Hope we'll come back after.
I didn't expect this game to go this hard. You start with nothing. Just one guy, empty streets. Walk around, pick up people, build your crews.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Shrunken heads and an African spirit conjuring figurine are just a few of the items on display at the Skepticism at the Center for Inquiry in Amherst, New York, an institution dedicated to the skeptical investigation of the paranormal. But among the cornucopia of eccentric exhibits sits a seemingly prosaic relic. This artifact is about 6 inches tall. It's rectangular in cross-section, and it contains an amber-colored liquid. According to senior research fellow Joe Nichol, the contents of this bottle were believed to possess almost limitless powers. A bottle of this liquid could do things that almost defy belief. What miraculous substance is preserved inside this small bottle? And how is it linked to a bizarre and hair-raising medical craze that captivated the nation? 1893. The World's Columbian Exposition, better known as the Chicago World's Fair, is in full swing. The whole event there was tremendous. Millions of people came over a 6-month period to see inventions and innovation. Amidst the revelry, a Texas cowboy named Clark Stanley is pitching his own remarkable concoction. Made from the juices of real rattlesnakes. He claimed that it was good for any kind of muscle aches, pains, sprains, rheumatism. He even went on to say it was good for lameness, paralysis. He tells onlookers that the powerful ointment is based on an old Native American formula he learned during 2 years spent under the tutelage of an Indian medicine man. But the real stars of his show are the slithering sidekicks. Everybody knows that rattlesnakes are dangerous.
Ha!
Using live snakes or chain process for other periodic.
I'm in here.
Skins off any resulting oil and then mixes it with no other secret ingredients to complete the medicine. He promises the gathered crowd that for a mere 50 cents, this remarkable ointment can be theirs. The whole approach had to be a myth like a carnival show. Stanley Snake Oil sells like hotcakes at the fair, and soon a factory is churning out his miracle medicine in bottles like this. In the months to come, Stanley boasts of scores of letters he receives thanking him for his cure-all. He publishes these glowing testimonials in pamphlets distributed across the country. Mark Stanley had an inherent sense of what was needed to market a product, that people would buy a better product and a more successful sale. He reportedly has to kill 3,000 rattlesnakes in a year just to keep up with the demand. Mark Stanley, rattlesnake king. But not everyone believes in Stanley's remarkable remedy. It almost seems too good to be true. Soon, some members of the medical community begin to wonder, is Stanley snake oil good? Its inventor claims it to be. It's the turn of the 20th century. Powerful medicine is sweeping the nation. Clark Stanley claims that his snake oil liniment contains the juice of real rattlesnakes and can cure almost any physical ailment, paralysis. But when critics question his bold pronouncements, snake oil, it's cracked up.
I know you're going for my they love confirmation.
Members of the
Give me,
medical
give me a
community
sit
these
right there.
fantastic claims are about to add a powerful weapon to their arsenal. The Pure Food and Drug Act, passed by Congress in 1906. The new law protects consumers from the countless unregulated and sometimes poisonous patent medicines that are sweeping the nation. Now, you claim that to cure this or that claim could be exempt, and you could not make
Oh my goodness. California. Power Ranger.
a shipment of Stanley's medicine and submits it to Congress. The results are shocking. The overwhelming
You okay over there?
was simply minimal.
Yeah.
In fact, there is no rattlesnake
Okie dokie. Just checking. Over here making noises.
Clark Stanley's once popular liniment from pharmacy shelves. And it's replaced by a lasting linguistic legacy. The name snake oil
Phew.
is the essential term to mean worthless, outrageous concoction. One question remains. If this miracle medicine was indeed a hoax, how could so many people have claimed to feel its benefits? Was it merely the self-proclaimed rattlesnake
Jeez.
king's striking salesmanship? Like all quack medicine, people
Man, I'm in there sweating. Whew.
suggestion or whatever. But it seems there was something more afoot with Stanley's liniment. It turns out that Clark Stanley's snake oil contained an ingredient, capsicum, providing soothing warmth to the skin. In fact, this chili pepper extract can be found in
Oh man.
most pharmacy shelves today.
I'm roasting.
Ironically, it seems that Stanley snake oil wasn't entirely worthless after all. And this bottle of snake oil liniment on display at the Skepticeum is a testament to Clark Stanley's persuasiveness and the almost limitless power of a good gimmick. Northfield, Minnesota. Founded in 1855, this old milling town once harnessed the waters of the Cannon River to produce some of the country's finest flour. And today, its charm is preserved in classic Romanesque and Queen Anne style buildings. And just off the main square sits an institution that celebrates this region's cherished past, the Northfield Historical Society. But deep inside the museum that played in the darkest chapter in Northfield's history. Artifact is about 7 feet tall. Heavy metal. It's got a centerpiece. As executive director,
Man. Whew.
this relic stood at the center of an audacious crime that took this sleepy hamlet by surprise. The townspeople had no idea that they were up against professional criminals. What infamous band of outlaws targeted this metal vault door, and did they succeed?
Damn.
September 7, 1876. It's a hot day in this quiet agricultural town of 2,000. People had just gotten lunch. But a little after 2 p.m.,
Boom,
a
boom,
local
boom.
resident named J.S. Allen notices something strange. 3 unfamiliar men
Ooh.
enter the First National Bank and close the door behind them. That was one of the first signs that something weird is going on. Then, 2 more men walk up to the bank and position themselves in front of the entrance. And so that's when JSI decided to see what was going on.
Go Power Rangers, go! Sorry. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Cheers.
Then the man pulls out a revolver. JSL breaks away, runs down the street, yelling, "Get your guns, boys, they're robbing the bank." Inside the bank, the bandits seize a young cashier named Joseph Haywood and command him to open the safe. But Haywood refuses. They start dragging him around and saying, "You're gonna let us in? Let us in." Haywood yells, "Hurry, and law enforcement may be closing in. My guy decides to make a break for you, but not before taking vengeance on the man
I will never
who
forget.
The courageous bank teller lies dead beside this bank vault door, now on display at the Northfield Historical Society.
Oh my goodness.
Then the criminals rush out of the bank and straight into a barrage of gunfire. When the smoke clears, 3 outlaws escape, but 2
Hey there,
have been shot and
Delilah.
killed.
What's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty. Yes, you do. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty. Yes, you do. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away.
Over 1,000 joined in on this pursuit of Will these notorious bandits be brought to justice?
Oh my goodness. Excuse me.
So this is gonna be fun. We're gonna see both of the houses. This is the original house that Laura and Almanza were living in, and she was having trouble sleeping, so she would have this little nook room that she wrote all the Little House books in. And she did that usually because she didn't want to disturb Almanza, who was trying to sleep. So there you can see it says where the Little House books are written. Alright, this is the house known as Rocky Ridge Farm. They had a walkie around to the front, but they pretty much always use this back part of the house because I believe this was the original part. So it says home of Laura Ingalls Wilder, one of America's best known authors, born in 1867 near Pepin, Wisconsin. Katie and I have taken you there to the home site. It says her Little House books were written here on Rocky Ridge Farm, her home for over 60 years. Wow. On July 17, 1894, Laura, her husband Almanzo Wilder, and their 7-year-old daughter Rose left Desmet, South Dakota in search of a new home. Traveling by covered wagon, they arrived in Mansfield on August 30th. On September 24th, the Wilders purchased 40 acres of land, including the site on which you were standing.
Well,
Here they established Rocky Ridge, a dairy, fruit, and poultry farm. A new house was built, and the farm enlarged to nearly 200 acres.
jeez.
In 1911, Laura started her career as a journalist writing about rural life. Between 1932 and 43, she published the Little House books from her memories of pioneer life. Almanzo died at Rocky Ridge in 1949 at the age of 92, and Laura lived here until her death at the age of 90 in 1957.
Oh, wow.
If I recall, the original cabin when they first moved here was right over here, and then they ended up moving it over to here, and then they started adding on to it. And they basically built a whole big house onto the original space. So we're going to take the tour, but from what I remember, they've always had a no filming policy. So we'll be able to show you the rooms and everything through photos, and I'll describe what they told us on the tour. But it's pretty amazing what they were able to do for themselves. You know, Almanzo was disabled, made a lot of things hard for him, so the things he was able to do around here, he did as much as he could. You'll see in the kitchen everything, that was all hand done. But this would have been the original, or the final front of the house.
Mm-mm.
That would have been the front door. Pretty cool to think of right inside here, actually, like right over here, that little space right there is where Laura wrote the books. Pretty special. Now we'll take the tour and show you the inside. Then we'll take you out to see, the story is that they lived here for 60 years, this whole big property. And we saw, if you saw the museum video, that they had $100 they bought the property with. Well, they raised Rose here, and Rose eventually came back as a successful journalist and decided to write her book. And so she wrote her book on the second floor. So when we take the tour, they don't let you walk up there. I think I'm allowed to walk up like 2 steps to look, so I'll show you that way. But that's where Rose, that was her area. That's where she lived when she was here. But yes, she wrote her book here. And of course, Laura, in bouts of sleeplessness, would write the Little House books here. So the other side says in 1915, Laura Almanzo's daughter, Rose, began her writing career on the San Francisco Bulletin. She served as a reporter in Europe after World War I. Rose became famous for her short stories, biographies, and novels. During the 1920s, she again made Rocky Ridge her home. Her novel, Old Hometown, described turn-of-the-century Mansfield. In 1932, she wrote her most famous novel, Let the Hurricane Roar, while living here in the White Farmhouse. Same year, Laura Ingalls Wilder published Little House in the Big Woods, the first book of her pioneer series, Farmer Boy. Published in 1953, told of Almanzo's boyhood. 7 more Little House books followed. All are international classics. Laura Ingalls Wilder and Rose Wilder Lane are revered for writings which stress the independence, courage, and American ideals. Alright, let's take this tour. Alright, I've never been in this room. This was their barn, or it was like the Wilder Garage carriage house. And apparently it had a fire while Rose was living here, but this is originally where Almanzo kept all the farm equipment for working around the house and the acreage and everything. But apparently when Rose moved back into the house and her parents moved to the rock house, she had let 2 orphan boys live here at the farm with her. And when the carriage house ended up having a fire and burned down, those 2 boys who were in high school at the time helped her rebuild it. And as a thank you to them, she let them have kind of a clubhouse out here for their friends, and they would also have a little workshop and place to hang out. So this eventually became the museum and the gift shop, this area, but this was where those boys used for their clubhouse, which I thought was kind of cool that they had made this area available to us. Last time I was here, I think it was closed or it wasn't open, so I'd never seen it before. Now, as we got to the house, they were explaining that the house originally was a little smaller house, and then it was over where I pointed to it before. Then Almanzo had, I guess, put it on logs and had horses pull it from over where it was, where I showed you, over towards us to where the sign was, and then eventually all the way over to being the original part of this house. So we're going in the sunroom, which Almanzo used to bring the wood in through here, and it's now a historical landmark. But the kitchen was the original house. So you can see how he changed it over to being a kitchen. Displaying her dishes, and since she was 4'11", he made everything appropriate to her size.
Oh my
For
God.
her, you can see eventually put in a refrigerator. Everything in here was original. The flooring they had replaced and the wallpaper they had replaced only because it had started to deteriorate, but they used the exact same stuff as before. So as you look around, you see it exactly the way they would have saw it when they lived here for their 60 years. The wood-burning stove that she would have cooked on, her exact items that she would have had displayed, all her dishes, how Manzo personally customized this house for her. That was her pass-through into the dining room. That was a cardboard cutout of her. These are her dishes. You can see how tall she really was in this room. And this was a pretty busy day for the tour because the Cherry Blossom Festival was happening and Laura Palooza was in town as well. So they were a lot of people that are huge Laura fans here to experience the house. They mentioned that on the other side of this wall is where Almanzo used to keep the wood, and that's where she would have done all the cleaning and the cleaning.
I'm gonna turn the TV on. I'll be right back. Oh goodness. Kelly, I like your feet. Don't your paws. They're not feet, they're paws. You're so pretty. You're a good girl. I love you.
In the following months, still more questions are raised when the staff at Andrews Air Force Base provides a new explanation of what they witnessed. Folks
Meow, meow, meow. Kelly looks so pretty. back again. Let's see anything. Tell all your friends. Kiss his back, kiss his back.
Of the dishes, storing her spices and baking goods, where she would have passed the food through for dinner. And there you can see the dining room table they would have all enjoyed. Now I love that they were able to keep a lot of the dishes. Everything you see in here, it was here when they were here. And this shows where they brought the water in from that they would use inside the house. The well eventually dried up outside, but they did have indoor water. Everything's painted the same as it was when they lived here. This was Laura's baking station, so she could look out the windows while she baked. She would have flour on her hands here and prepare things. This is where Almanzo extended the house so that he could fit the refrigerator in, which was kind of odd, but for someone like him, he loved to take on a big task, and so that's what he did for Laura, was extended the exterior of the house so that the refrigerator would fit snug. Now that's the stairwell that Rose and Laura would use. It was very, very thin, and this was in between the dining room and the kitchen that took you upstairs. Now this was the dining room and the heater and everything. This was their original furniture. That's where they would have their meals, where Laura would answer her fan letters and her birthday cards every year right there at that seat. Just loved looking around and knowing that everything on the walls was exactly the way it was when they lived here. And that lamp on the table was actually made by Almanzo with his own two hands. It was the very first electric lamp that he ever made. And the seat cushion on this chair, Laura made herself. So of course you can imagine the three of them having many dinners here. And that was the Christmas clock that Laura writes about Almanzo getting her as a gift one year. And then this took us into their bedroom, and where they slept all those nights. Well, maybe not Laura. This was Laura's bed, and eventually Rose would end up moving into the house, and this would be where Rose slept. So she extended she changed the room you see through the doorway. That was originally where Almanzo kept all the firewood and everything that he would bring into the kitchen. But once she moved in, she wanted indoor facilities, so she turned that into a bathroom with indoor toilet and everything. This is exactly the way it was when Laura passed, because Laura ended up moving back to this house, and these are all her belongings, including her hat over there. And this was Almanzo's bed, where he would sleep all those nights. She often had a hard time sleeping. This was the radio she would entertain herself with, and this was the lamp that Almanzo made her, a little bit more fashionable. And I thought the flooring was really cool. But I like that they put Laura's nightgown on her bed, and it was, like I said, she may not have slept here too often because she had insomnia, would like to write. So she would often get up in the middle of the night and go into another room and write. And like I said, she would have got to enjoy an indoor bathroom after Rose remodeled it for the last years of her life. Now, this is Almanzo's bed, and we were looking in the little box off to the side of his bed, and he actually made that wooden box, and those were all his belongings inside, his shaving kit and all that stuff. But the next room we went into, which was where Laura would go when she had insomnia, was her little writing room. And there was a daybed in there that when she was done writing, she could lay down and take a nap and sleep for the night so she wouldn't disturb Almanzo, who woke early. But this was the room that she would write many of your favorite Little House books right there at that writing desk. I thought that was so cool. She would start the books out at the Rock House, but then when she moved back here, continued writing the books right there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable amount of history and greatness right there. Then that took us into what would be the living room, but there was an upstairs, and we weren't allowed to go upstairs, but they mentioned that's where Rose lived while she was growing up. There was a guest room up there, and also a room that they called Rose's storage room. And of course it was chained off, not accommodating to people going out there, but I got the best view I could. That was a view into her room. Now this is looking into the living room, and all the furniture in there was pretty much made by Almanzo. He wanted it to feel like his house, and he did a great job. Laura's sitting chair where she would read a lot. Almanzo would sit in that rocking chair off to the right. I thought this was really cool. That was their front door. Just got a vibe of the whole house in here. And that was a view into their music room off to the side. But back in this room, they would have enjoyed many of their nights sitting there talking, reading. As they got older, he liked to crochet a lot, or cross stitch, I believe. This, they were showing us that that little patch of carpet was the only original patch in the house. They had replaced the carpet in here too because it started to deteriorate, but they did keep one small patch for display to show us. And then that was the whole corner that Laura would sit in during the day because she liked the sun. And there was a great story about that fireplace where he wanted to make it out of brick, and it brought all the bricks in. He was disabled. He had his foot was in bad shape, and so it was hard for him to do things, but she had her heart set on wanting the stones from down by the creek, and so they argued about it, I guess, and eventually she just kind of cried and got her way, she said, turned on her womanly, emotions and got her way, and so he made it out of the stones that she wanted. So he did all the crocheting or the cross-stitching of the pillows and the rug down there, everything that's on the couch right there. You can just imagine them sitting in those two chairs. And he made that. He actually cross-stitched that rug right there. And that's about the best view I could get of that side of the living room. And then this was their library. They had tons and tons of books. Rose and Laura and Almanzo all loved to read the books. And then this was the music room. That record player actually had a wooden needle to play records. And this was used by Rose. That was a picture of Rose up there. And she was very smart and actually excelled beyond what the capabilities of the town were. They only educate up to 10th grade, and she wanted to go much further, so she ended up leaving and having a nice career, but these were all the things that she would enjoy in the room, the organ and everything while she was growing up. And this guided us back through the dining room, back towards the kitchen, and to end up the tour, but I couldn't help but look out and view the porch swing that they would have undoubtedly used many times, and the area that they would have enjoyed to get away from the bugs and mosquitoes.
My heart's fine.
I'm only 40.
Ignoring your heart health risks.
This road is going to take us from the Rocky Ridge house to the Rock House. There you can see they lived here from 1928 to 1937. So we just saw the house where Laura's writing career started when she was writing for the journals and publications and stuff, but it was actually the writing of the Little House book started here. She wrote the first two books at this house. It says in 1928, after living abroad for several years, Rose Wilder Lane returned to her childhood home on Rocky Ridge Farm. With proceeds from her writings, Rose built her parents a modern house. Keys were presented to Laura and Almanzo at Christmas, and Rose continued to live in the white farmhouse. By 1936, Rose had left Missouri for New York City. Her parents then returned to the original home. This part of the farm was sold, and in 1990, the Wilder Association purchased the property and restored it to the museum. That says, while living here in the Rock House, Laura Ingalls Wilder started writing the Little House books, which made her famous. With pencil on 5-cent tablets, she completed the following books: Little House in the Big Woods, Farmer Boy, Little House in the Prairie, and On the Banks of Plum Creek. Also 4 books, actually. During the same period, Rose Wilder Lane wrote extensively, including her best-known novel, Let the Hurricanes Roar. First published as a serial in the Saturday Evening Post in 1932, became one of the best-selling books during the Great Depression years. Wow, so 4 of the books. What they didn't tell us on the tour, and that's kind of lightly talked about in the history of the Laura-Rose relationship, is that the reason that Rose was getting her mom to write these books is because with her father not being able to really work, they often had financial struggles. And it was getting to the point where I guess Laura was asking Rose for money a lot. And finally Rose was like, Mom, you should really write your stories. And so she started doing those here. This was modeled after a Frank Lloyd Wright house, they said. So again, this one we cannot film inside of, but we can photograph it. So let's go check it out. You can see that there's stairs. And Kitty was noticing right here, there's stairs that take you down into the grass and everything because of Almanzo's needs. I love the door. The doors are amazing. The inside tour of the house wasn't guided in any way, so we just kind of wandered through, and there were some Laura-Palooza people, which is like a Laura Ingalls Wilder festival, kind of traveling festival. A lot of them were there, so we just kind of went in and got, brief looks at how the house used to look with photos matching up. So this was the interior of when you first walked in, and that would have been their living room at the time. They had a photo that kind of showed you how it looked when they lived there. And I liked all the little details of it and everything, but I could definitely see why they liked the other house better. These were all the original fixtures and things that they would have seen when they lived here. And some of the belongings that they left behind when they moved. That photo right there was kind of hard to get a matchup because there were some women that just kept standing there talking. And I didn't want to be rude and ask them to move or anything, but this was basically showing exactly how the room looked when they lived here for those 7 years. And this was the house that Laura started writing the Little House books in, so that made it even more special. When you looked around and you saw this, you knew that she was just starting everything here. And this would have been the dining room area, and they did, the one docent in there did tell me, because I was curious, I said, where would she have written at when they lived here? And she said this was the room that she did her writing primarily at the time that they lived here, all in the kitchen area to not disturb Almanzo while he was sleeping. Because the house isn't very big compared to the other one. They just had a lot of photos of her and the books, and not many more photos matching up really, but this was the kitchen area where she had an electric stove. And then that was looking back through the dining room at the first room that we came into. This is a little better shot out in the hallway of the bathrooms. Very modern looking bathroom for the time. Their toilet.
Game. I only have one truck filling the sea.
I have 10 trucks working simultaneously. This allows me to...
And one of the things they did point out was they said, take a look at how low the shower head was for both of their height and everything. It was very small. Now this took us into their bedroom, which there was only one bedroom in the house. So Apparently they would have shared a bed during this time.
Mm.
Because I was noticing it wasn't two twin beds any longer. And then this took us back out into the dining room. And then there was another room as you got through there. And this was a sitting room that they used to use. Manzo used to do whittling, I guess, in there. He had made those shelves inside that closet in there. Much like Pa had in their other houses, if you've ever seen those videos. And then this took us back out towards the front of the house. And I just liked looking at the flooring and everything the way it was. There you can see some brick and some stone. I wonder if that's a bench that Almanzo would have built. And then, of course, as we saw before we went in, once Rose moved to New York City, they decided to move back to the other house. And Laura continued her writing over there, where they both ended up living out the rest of their lives. Alright, we're over here at the Mansfield Cemetery. All the Wilders are buried here. So they do a pretty good job of letting you know where the graves are located because they have signs as soon as you come in. But right in the center of the cemetery, you'll see two giant shrubs or bushes, and this is where they are. You can see we have on the right is Rose Wilder Lane. On the left, her parents. If you grew up watching Little House on the Prairie, you probably became really attached to Laura Ingalls and Almanzo Wilder. Or if you grew up on the books, so pretty cool to see where they settled. It's amazing to see when you tour the house, if you ever get a chance to. I don't know if the pictures really do it justice, but just seeing how much detail Almanzo did with his disabilities, not ever letting it stop him. He created the entire layout of the house based on what she wanted, made all the counters and everything according to her height, you know, put her baking station right there with windows on either side because she loved it. And even when he built the fireplace, when he wanted to use brick and she wanted stones from the creek, she won. So really cool to see where they lived out their lives together. And Laura, of course, to see where she wrote her books and where she answered her fan mail and read all of her fan mail all the way up to her death, pretty special. Laura Ingalls. The rest of her family, if you follow the books and the TV show, Charles Ingalls and Ma, and most of them are all buried in DeSmet. And Katie and I have went out there and made a pretty extensive video in the cemetery in DeSmet and showed where pretty much all of them are buried, including speculative sites for siblings. Then, of course, Rose, only, as crazy as it sounds, in her day, she was one of the most popular and one of the most well-respected journalists of her time, authors of her time, and somehow, because of something that she inspired her mother to do, I feel like she's almost plays second fiddle to the family. I don't know, Katie, what do you think? It's weird, Rose was always the author, but somehow I feel like with the success of the Little House books and the TV show, it's almost like Rose is a little less known for her own talents and what she brought to the world, is kind of, in a lot of people's lives, only known because of the part she played in her parents' life. So they lived to be in their 90s. They lived long lives, which, considering people in those frontier days, it's amazing that they lived as long as they did. And Rose was even going to be traveling up until her death. She had a trip planned and ended up passing away. She lived a nice long life. If you come to the backside of the graves, I have never checked this, but somebody mentioned to me, hey, check the back of Rose's headstone next time you're there. An army of principles will penetrate where an army of soldiers cannot. Neither the Channel nor the Rhine will arrest its progress. It will march on the horizon of the world, and it will conquer. Rest in peace, Rose, Laura, and Almanzo Wilder.
What's your favorite app right now?
I don't know. Let me check.
Wait, that's an Android?
Yeah, I love Android. I'm an Android user.
All right.
Last time. So we're going to get to show you in conjunction with the museum here. They're nice enough to work with us. So if you want to look up any more, look on discoverlaura.org. But we're going to get to show you a little bit of the history around here. It's cool. They have museum, a house that Laura lived in, the surveyor's house that they moved into when they came to town. This should be a lot of fun. This is a big part of the Ingalls history. Can't wait to get to look around and find out. There is the beautiful Laura Ingalls Wilder, and here is Jack. Wow, that's amazing. Being at the, getting to see where Laura wrote her books, I was just kind of wondering about that, where Rose is, all of her stuff as far as the writing materials. So it's beautiful to see. Because isn't she the one that, talked Laura into start writing her books? So, wow. Without this, we have no Laura Ingalls Wilder and Little House books.
She commissioned her handyman to make this desk custom for her. So if it looks like it was handmade for her under her specifications.
She probably was used to that, having Almanzo being her father and then making everything in their home for her mother. That's amazing. So it says, as opposed to her mother, Rose liked to type everything, and her mother loved to handwrite. Some of Laura's handwritten manuscripts typed out right at this desk. Wow. Of course, Rose was born here. They have a diagram here that's kind of interesting because it shows on this side when Rose started writing and for how long she wrote, and on the other side is Laura, and they pretty much, right after Rose starts writing, Laura starts writing, and they continue writing all the way down until about the same time. Now, I kind of wonder, and I always just speculated this, they were very close because I believe it was when they were living here that Almanzo and Laura had a little boy that they lost. So they would have had a very close family, being Rose being their only child that survived. These are some of the belongings of both Laura and Rose. Rose's eyeglasses. What's amazing is that if you're a Little House fan or a Laura fan, so far Katie and I have went to several of the museums and they're all done a little differently, but they all are done very well. I haven't been to one that I was disappointed with. Oh, it says the fur babies. Laura and Rose's fur babies pictured here. Rose with Pepe and brothers, their dog tags. So,
Escucha música de YouTube sin anuncios ni YouTube Premium. Incluso puedes escucharla con la pantalla apagada.
Estos
So that would have been her jack. Some of Rose's cigarette holders and matches, cigarette case. This is neat. They have a diagram of Rose's travels, and you can see that, you know, they all start over here, and she lived here and everything, but she made her way all over the world. And what's interesting is that Rose actually was going to travel again across country, or across the world, before she died, and ended up passing away the night before she took off. And then down on the other end of all the memorabilia, they have Laura's travels, and hers are strictly United States. But you can see she even made it down to Florida. But she was all over the place. All the homes. Here's Laura's sewing kit. And this is some of Rose's jewelry. That man with the beard right there is the real Charles Ingalls. Over here is the marriage announcement for Rose. Right there. It says Rose Wilder married Claire Gillette Lane, 1909 in California. Although Laura and Alfonso did not attend the wedding, they sent out an announcement to friends and family. And then these are all letters that, right here, that Rose wrote to Laura saying, you have to write your books, you have to write your stories. It says, shortly after the miscarriage of her son, Rose visits Laura in Mansfield in 1909. It's during that period that it seems the two have a serious conversation about writing. So Laura began writing.
Take sleep. Huh? What's wrong? Hiccups. Look at her. Louie.
They're here. Look. Look. Ah.
It won't stay.
There. So I think you take my hands off. I know Daddy's a piece of shit. This guy is smooth operator.
Is it raining? Oh my goodness.
Off yet. Get that air down.
There's the thing right there.
You nuts.
Yeah, you are. Smooth operator. Look at her, look. She's like.
She's back. What's that phone?
Smooth operator.
Oh, so you want So you want to get
Probably the hurricanes.
Probably. Could be.
Oh. Hey, that's a pretty ring. Mm. Okay. Hey, you're gonna fall. Smooth operator. Alrighty. Well, I'm getting out of here. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Take care.